So as the final day of 2019 winds down, let me tell you guys that I had such an incredible year with such great adventures, and it was truly fun to bring you guys along on all my animal adventures, but we aren't stopping there. There is so much that I want to get done in 2020, it is unreal, and for years to come, because at the end of the day, it's not just about one year, it's about planning ahead for many years in the long term. So going over 2019, it was such an incredible year with so many cool experiences, as well as it was really cool to meet some of you guys in person. I love getting to know you guys, and I hope to meet so many more of you guys in this coming year. As far as the channel goes, I couldn't ask for better content that I put out this year. We had so many incredible videos, and a lot of cool collaborations too. I plan to do so many more of those in 2020. We're going to have such a blast, and overall I had a really great time just doing stuff with this channel, with also my film work and as well as my photography work. It's been great. It's been a really cool experience and a great learning experience as well too, to revamp things and constantly keep growing. So as far as 2020 goes, what's in store? Well, obviously this channel has been near and dear to my heart since I started it years ago. But with this channel, I want to continue growing it and revamping it while staying true to my content, which is basically educating people on animals, more specifically reptiles and reptile care, of course, but broadening out to do other things too with animals. So that's my main goal. So now if you remember, my other goal is to at least reach 500 subscribers by the end of the year, which we actually did, but it was also to push that envelope and reach 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year, which we were very, very close to do, but we didn't exactly reach that, which is no big deal. Like I said, you can reach your goals, sometimes you don't and you fall a little bit short. That's not a big issue. It's just about keep grinding at it, keep pushing at it, and staying true to what you want in your goals. But regardless, with the ongoing growing support from you guys that I've been getting, I feel that this year in 2020 we're going to reach that goal of 1,000 subscribers, and then I hope that we get to 1,500 subscribers. That's going to be the new goal, is 1,500 subscribers by the end of 2020. I think we can do it. And with all the amazing content that I'm about to put out this year that I've been planning, I think we're going to be able to do that. So as far as other goals that I have, well, I do have a project that I've been working on for probably 2.5 years now, and I've been babying this thing for years. And I'm really excited to bring you guys along this project this year for sure, so stay tuned for that. But that's all I can tell you about that right now, so stay tuned and I will tell you more on that later. But mainly, before I wrap this portion up, before we get to the montage of the recap of this year, I do want to thank you guys, because without you and your growing support for me and my channel and everything that I've been doing, receiving your feedback, receiving your comments, I love to hear what you guys have to say, so continue on doing that in 2020. But despite all the ups and downs in 2019, I would say it was a pretty good year, and I'm just really excited to see where this next decade goes starting in 2020. We have some really exciting adventures planned for you guys that I'm so excited to keep you guys posted on. And speaking of keeping you guys posted, make sure you guys also follow my social media accounts. That way you can also stay in tune with everything there. I will leave links down below. And above all, I have to say again, thank you guys so much. This has been an absolute journey, and I'm so happy to bring you guys along with me. Like I said, your guys' support means the world to me, and I'm so thankful to have a positive community from you guys. So we're going to continue to grow, continue to bring awareness and educational videos, so let's keep doing that in 2020. But before the ball drops tonight, let's sit back and enjoy this video of recapping 2019. My name is Nick Pulaski. Ever since I was young, I've had two passions, wildlife and filmmaking. My goal is to combine those two passions to make wildlife content. My passion for wildlife and my collection of exotic species is constantly growing. Come follow along as I pursue my goals of educating, inspiring, exploring, and conserving wildlife, all while having fun, seeing the beauty of our natural world. So this right here is a snake shed from one of my adult ball python females, and oh my gosh, look at this. It's a nice full piece. It's so rewarding when you get one of these. And as you can see, it's one full piece again, and you can see the head is right here, and that's where they start beginning their shedding process, and then it just kind of inverts like a sock, and it just goes unraveling down their body. And this is all part of the process a healthy growing snake will go through throughout their lifetime. So when measuring a snake like this ball python female that I have here, it's really difficult to use a measuring tape for any kind of snake because, as you can see, they kind of twirl all around, and just trying to get like the angles and stuff like that perfectly straight and spread out the snake is actually a rather difficult thing, and it's not very accurate. So what we're going to do is we're going to use this technique on my girl right here, and we're going to see how long she is. Now I'm doing this by myself, and that's because this is a ball python and they don't move that fast, but if I was doing this with, say, something like a reticulated python or a milk snake, rat snake, any sort of species of snake that's more on the go, I may want two people with me, just so one is measuring and one is holding the snake in place so they're not constantly getting away from them or anything like that. So like I just said, snakes, just like any other animal, is an investment. And when you have a whole collection of snakes, it's an even bigger investment. But there are ways to lower the costs, but also keep quality care of your animals. This video is more so for the people who have multiple snakes. That's when you're more so going to notice that the costs are going to lower, but you can still use these techniques if you have like 1 or 2 snakes as well. So the first big thing we'll go over is bedding. Now with bedding, it's good to buy in bulk. And good substrates you can buy in bulk are like paper towels, newspaper, cypress mulch that doesn't have any dyes or any fertilizers in it, as well as even compressed blocks of cocoa chips. So ball pythons are also known as the royal python, and they're native to the tropical warmer climates of Western and Central Africa. So on average, a captive ball python's lifespan is between 20 and 30 years. Now you do have to keep that in mind when you're getting one of these guys because it is a lifelong commitment. And another reason why they're so popular in the pet trade is because they don't get extremely large. So when people think of pythons, they think of like a big 15+ foot like reticulated python or a Burmese python per se, but that's not the case with a ball python. So with a ball python male, this is on average what you're going to get. You're going to get an animal between 2.5 to 3.5 feet long. Nick, what's your favorite species that you own? Is it you? 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 Well, honestly, it's a very tough decision, but if you stay tuned, I'll tell you just that. So to start off with, we're going to start with ball pythons. Now I've had ball pythons in my collection for going on 10+ years now, and absolutely love this species. They have so many different color mutations and such great personalities that you just gotta love them. And with that being said, it was a really hard decision. I absolutely adore these guys. That doesn't mean that I just like this species or anything like that, or any of these other species that I'm going to elaborate on. They just don't quite make the top of the list. So to sum it up, ball pythons are just not quite the top most fascinating species that I'm currently working with. But I still absolutely love handling these guys and working with these guys. This is my Woma python. Now you guys know that this is the most current new species that I'm working with, and I just absolutely adore her. Her temperament, for one, she's just so sweet. She just has this such sweet personality about her. It's just amazing. I love Womas, and I always have, and I always wanted to work with these guys as well as the black-headed pythons. This is just a really hard decision as I keep going down this list. And this is just such a hard list to make because it's always constantly changing. This isn't a stagnant list. And I made it. I made it to Tinley. But oh my gosh, I have to be quiet because I think I just stumbled upon a sleepy Mitch. Let's see. Look at him. He's at peace. All right, I'm with Ashlyn right now. She just got, what'd you get today?
I got an Amazon tree boa.
Oh my gosh, that's awesome. Is this your first snake or? No, what else do you got?
I have a hot dog.
Okay, awesome. How old is it?
About a year.
About a year old? Mm-hmm. That's absolutely awesome. It's really cool. So Ashlyn, congrats on the brand new snake. That's absolutely incredible. It's so cool just seeing new people here and meeting a whole bunch of you guys. It's really cool going back to the community and seeing everyone's new purchases today. I'm half tempted to get more stuff myself.
Thank you very much.
No problem. You guys have a
What's
good
your
one,
name?
okay? Nick.
Nick, thanks,
Nick.
man.
Nice to meet you guys.
It's not going to hurt you. It just needs a place to grab a hold of. Because now you are the tree.
So tell me a little bit about the species.
So these are the Bellatorius species, also known as the mullet skink.
Okay.
They're from Australia, and they're one of the largest skink species on the planet.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Yep, they're communal. They'll live together. I believe I have a pair of them. These are captive bred.
Okay.
Very hard to find captive bred ones, but I was lucky enough last month to find 2 of them. They are recently reclassified from the Egernia species, which you're seeing a lot of at shows and stuff.
How old are these guys roughly?
These guys are probably only a couple months old. I would say probably 4 months or so.
Okay. And they're a pair, you said?
Hopefully. I'm thinking due to the coloration of them that they are possibly a pair, but I haven't had them sexed yet. The planted ones, I've got the pair of Boivini. I have them in a smaller enclosure right now just because I want to monitor them, make sure they're not fighting.
And they're roughly how old? I know they're imports, but like, what would you say like?
The male is about 5 or 6.
Okay.
And the female who's she's usually over here. She's probably 3 or 4 now. Taeniata male who's hanging out on top here. What else do I have? A bunch of Mixteca, Gramineae.
Like tanning himself.
Last little bit here. Just moved these guys today. Let's see. Yeah, there's a couple of them hanging out.
Oh yeah, there's one right there.
Yep. So these are the Geckolepis maculata, the fish scale geckos.
Are these the ones that, or were they called dragon scale ones? The one that are like very delicate.
Very delicate. Yep. So I won't handle these guys at all.
Eye candy.
I handled them today. Took them out just to check them over and then throw them in their new enclosure here. But there's 1.3 in here, so 1 male and 3 females.
I've gone over this build in the past. Basically what it is it's a 29-gallon vivarium that I built. And what I basically built it out of was scrap pieces that I had for my paludarium, which is going to be the next thing that I work on after this guy. Basically, I just want to test some things on a smaller scale before I get into something bigger, just to make sure that everything is done correctly. So it's really just trial and error. Because I picked up some orange isopods to throw in here as well. Now what the orange isopods are going to do is they're going to help serving in the bioactive setup. And what I mean by that is they're going to help break down the dead material that's in the tank and keep the tank looking fresh. Thriving. It's actually doing really well. The plants are growing and getting new growth on them. And I'm just really excited to continue to grow this out and continue to put new plants in and new moss and so on and so forth, and just making this a really green and vibrant landscape. Really cool because you actually get to see them when you turn the lights on during the day. And what I essentially do is I throw in baby carrots inside there as well as leafy greens, and they go to town at it and they absolutely enjoy it. Now with that being said and all the conditions being perfect, they are breeding in there. And by snake myths I mean the most common misconceptions about snakes. And the important thing about these myths is education is key. So a lot of these myths came up when research wasn't as current as it is today. So constantly learning and educating yourself is always an important thing for anything really in life, but reptiles, animals, anything. Another very common myth is that snakes are slimy, which is very much not true because snakes are not slimy whatsoever. Now certain snakes like the Woma python or some other kinds of snakes that do have shinier scales will look as if they're slimy because they're giving off a sheen look to them, but simply that's not the case. Overall, there's no slime or mucus coming off of a snake. John, what do we got here? What are we working with? What do you got?
Well, I'm primarily boa constrictors.
Okay.
So, I mean, I do have boas. I also breed ball pythons, Brazilian rainbow boas, Colombian rainbow boas, and Gila monsters. That's
Okay.
my main thing, but boas are my main love.
Awesome. How long have you been into reptiles and breeding them?
Oh, I've been breeding now 27 years. I mean, I've been into it obviously since I was a kid.
Yeah.
10, 12 years old. But yeah, I've been into it almost all my life. I've been breeding the last 25, 26 years.
Okay. Would you start with boas or?
Started with boas.
Okay. Awesome.
Boas have always been my love. Very active. You know, it takes them a few minutes before they settle down.
And who we got here?
This one's Gary going to shed, so it's not as pretty.
Oh, I was gonna say because it looks blue.
Yeah. This is a snow motley jungle.
Okay.
So it's litter mate to the one you're holding there.
Gotcha.
So this is my first time I've produced my very own motleys.
Wow.
In the snow form, and I actually had a jungle form of it as well. So
Oh
I wish she wasn't out of shed. She looked a little prettier. Actually, he.
Yeah.
Because the white, I mean, I don't know how it will show up on the camera, but it is very pretty. Babies.
Yeah.
This is a labyrinth.
Okay.
Labyrinth boa. This is het for the VPI gene. I actually picked this up from Jeff Ronnie.
Okay.
So this will be one of my future breeders. I hopefully be producing my own labyrinths next year.
Okay. Now, what is like the labyrinth gene? Like
The labyrinth is the broken up pattern.
Okay.
You know, so that it's a variety.
Okay.
Because you never know how some of them come out with stripes, some come out with chain.
That's really cool.
I mean, it's basically, it's a. It's basically, to me, I mean, to describe it best, it's almost like a jungle gene.
Okay.
But it's totally different. But it gives the appearance of the jungle gene.
Is it a recessive or?
No, it's a codominant.
It's a codominant
trait.
trait.
Yeah, it's a
Okay.
codominant trait. I mean, I've got breeder males that only have barely even look like they're an IMG.
Really?
But they produce them. So the IMG, it's not a pattern enhancer, but it'll give you the crispness around the saddles.
Yeah.
They give you that medieval head stamp on them as well. I'm working with.
Yeah.
This is a pastel jungle female.
Wow.
I mean, she's the classic jungle, which is just the crisp color, not the real aberrancies.
Yeah.
But the pastel, you can see that the colors just pop on this girl.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, right along the saddles and stuff like that too.
A little bit of stuck shut on her there, but nothing major.
Yeah, nothing. I mean, that's common.
Oh yeah.
Happens sometimes. But yeah, really sharp. I like the side angle patterns on there too, like those little.
The medallions on the
Yeah,
side.
the medallions on the side. Is that what they would be called, medallions?
Yep.
Okay.
This is a hypo Brazilian.
Wow, look at the
You
whites.
See how much lighter it is? Obviously the nice fresh shed.
Wow.
Makes her look nice and pretty.
Right. But that white on the side.
Oh, they're amazing. I said the Colombians normally they're brown, they got that drab color with the high iridescence.
Yeah.
Here with the leucistics, it's white, but it doesn't have really iridescence.
I was gonna say, yeah, with that you
Yeah,
lose the kind of that rainbow look.
Yeah, you lose the rainbow look, but they still the white overtakes it, makes them look pretty as well.
Right. But with the head shape and everything like that, the species, I mean, it looks distinguishable among like other leucistics.
Exactly.
So that's really cool looking. I'm gonna move your chin. Got it.
Now, do they make noise or anything like that? Like,
Nope.
no, they don't.
Just scratching.
Just scratching.
They scratch and dig. Like I said, they're a very, very calm animal, calm lizard. But obviously,
Are they defensive over their like eggs and stuff like that when they lay?
I mean, granted, I've always caught the females when they first start dropping eggs.
Yeah.
So I've never had one trying to defend them. They
Okay.
usually, I mean, naturally in the wild they'll dig a hole,
Yeah.
put the eggs in the hole, bury it, and they leave.
Okay.
So I keep them on the sandy chips.
Yeah.
So when they come in, I just grab them and grab the eggs right out and throw them straight in the incubator.
Really? So this is the vivarium. As you can see, it is absolutely flourishing. And as you can see also, there is a whole bunch more greenery inside of it now. And that's because of my good friend Mitch Belleville. He actually gave me more well-established saplings of other plants that he was pruning off from his other plants. And we're getting them going inside this vivarium. And they are absolutely taking off, and it looks absolutely incredible inside here. It's important to do your research. No animal, no matter what it is, whether it's a dog, a fish, a gecko, should be just impulsively bought. You always should do your research and make sure that it's a commitment that you're able to take on. So that's something that you guys can do at home. Because at the end of the day, you're not doing yourself a service by not doing your research, as well as you're not doing the animal the service of not doing the research. And they, at the end of the day, will suffer the consequences if you can't properly take care of them. So inspect the animal, ask questions to the breeder. All of those things will help you out in the long run. I haven't seen polar bears since they were at the Cleveland Zoo, and that was years ago. I was so young, but it's just so incredible seeing them now. I can't even believe it. I'm just smiling ecstatically right now because I've never seen a mountain lion in my life before, and there was 3 of them in there, and I got to see, I didn't get to catch it on camera, but I got to see the one jump up on the ledge, and just seeing the height that these guys can do with ease is just unreal. No wonder that they have all this netting like right above them and everything like that, because they could easily jump out. It's just absolutely incredible. They're such gorgeous animals. Just truly amazed seeing that species in person is just absolutely incredible to me. Unreal. That is incredible. Did you see him scream? Next, as you can see here, is the hornworms. I have a whole bunch of hornworms, and they actually gave me this container free. This is from Timberline. So what they do is, before the show opens, they give you a free voucher for some feeder insects. So what I decided to do is I took my voucher up there and I got some hornworms, and this is what they gave me. And I'm gonna open this container up right now just so you guys can see and everything like that, but that's okay. We'll get her all warmed up. But yeah, that's right here. This is my new Woma python female. Oh my gosh, is she stunning or what? Look at this. Look how well grown this all is. Just comparing this lush greenery that's inside here, comparing it to what it was like 2 months ago, it's truly a night and day difference. The growth inside here has definitely been flourishing. It's been thriving. All the plants have been doing well in here. I haven't lost any. I've just been gaining more and more. And what I actually just did was I actually pruned down the plants so it looks a little bit more open inside here, as well as implemented more plants and different species. Been getting from people saying, how did you get into reptiles and how did you necessarily get into snakes? And truthfully, it's kind of like a jumbled question because I don't really recall the first encounter that I had with a snake. Could have been at like the Cleveland Zoo or something like that when I was really young, and more than likely was. And basically the first memory that I can recall about interacting with the snake in the wild was actually probably about when I was like 5 or 6, and I was actually in the woods in my hometown. And what was basically going on was I actually saw this garter snake moving in the woods. Very long garter snake. It was probably about like 3.5, 4 foot long. But yeah, I remember following this snake, and then I remember picking it up. Garter snake as a species is a very docile snake. Does the person have that capability to take on that responsibility of having a pet? Like for example with ball pythons, people will be like, oh my gosh, I see this little baby ball python, and they don't realize that they get actually rather big. Not like crazy huge like a Burmese python or anything like that, but as you can see with my albino black pastel female right here, she is rather big herself, pushing about like 4 feet. And to some people that's a lot of work, but it goes on beyond just size. So to go more in depth, it's all about doing your research.
Reptiles, and this is just one way to do it. You know, you can get up and do that lecture, walk around with one animal at a time, like you see so many people do.
Sure.
But like I say, when this was proposed to us, I said that sounds like a kind of interesting idea. Let's give it a shot.
Sure.
So we'll see how it goes.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Can I hold Romeo?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Is just like a baby.
Yeah.
Just a big baby, but I mean, such cool animals, such a great disposition, everything like that. Love their tongue, love their eyes and everything like that too. Just really super chill. Love these claws right here
Yeah.
too. Like, just really cool animals and everything
And
like
he's
that.
pretty good at keeping his down, but we do clip
Yeah.
them when necessary.
Yeah. But really awesome stuff. And like you said too, I mean, yeah, you grew up like reading the books and everything like that, and then everything has kind of changed over time. We're about to be in 2020 right now, and I mean, like you said, we can find you like on the internet easily. You're just a phone call away or anything like that. It doesn't have to be in, like I said, the Northeast Ohio area for you guys to do some reach out for Herps Alive or for any kind of like sanctuary whatsoever, anything like that. There are resources out there if you guys do need help or any kind of situation or anything like that for the matter. As well as, I mean, if you do want to donate to Keith and Herps Alive, where would be the best place to
Easiest
reach?
thing to do right now is to go to our Facebook page, and there's a donate button right there.
And just like that, there's the recap of 2019. Looking back and editing this footage, it was actually really fun because it was really cool seeing all the projects that I've done in the past. And honestly, the way I make content is if I'm not enjoying my own content, then I'm not going to post it for you guys, because that's not fun for anyone. You should be enjoying the content that you're making. So like I said, thank you guys so much for all your support. And if you could do me a couple favors, if you haven't already, if you could like this video and subscribe to my channel, I would greatly appreciate it, as well as follow me on my social media accounts so you can follow me there on all my other adventures too. Like I said, there's a whole bunch planned in 2020, so make sure you follow me and check me out so you can stay tuned and stay in the loop. And thank you guys so much for watching this video. Have a safe New Year's Eve and a safe New Year's Day as well. Let's start off this year great. Let me know down in the comments if you guys have any New Year's resolutions, and don't feel like you have to wait for a certain day to start whatever your resolution is. You can start it whenever. Pursue that goal instantly. But again, thank you guys so much, and until next time, I will see you guys next year.